Hello there. Today, Shauna White, relationship coach for spiritually awake couples, talking about how control creeps in and wrecks connection. So, I was talking with someone who described her experience a few days ago where she had an appointment to get her nails done and she left her kids with her husband. And so he had the kids for 2, 3 hours and he took care of them, made sure that they were, fed and not upset. And when she came home, she said to him, "Why didn't you wash the bed sheets?" Because apparently one of the kids soiled the bed sheets, which is normal for him because of a disability that he's dealing with in his growth process. And so her husband accused her of being controlling. So that's the question. Was she controlling? And there's a lot of things underneath the surface, like how hard she works on a regular basis to keep everything running in the home, and how hard he works when he's, not out of the house, or excuse me, how hard he works to essentially pay the bills, and the stress that they both feel over those things, and the way they feel, each feels unseen by the other. So there's a lot of things that contribute to this statement that she made, or a question that she asked, actually. Why didn't you clean the bed sheets? But the question is, isolating that one factor, was that controlling? I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. From my perspective, yes, that was controlling. It was controlling because she did not come to the situation exploring with him what is his experience. What was his experience of these 2 or 3 hours? She came to him with her idea of what it should have been and asked him, why is it different than what it should have been? Well, what it should have been exists in her mind. So she is effectively saying to him, you need to act. You out there need to act the way that I see in my own mind. And that is controlling. Now, certainly her question could be valid, but the perspective from which she's asking the question is controlling. So the fundamental dynamic of control, like we might think of controlling as, did she tell him what to do? Was she trying to control his behavior? But really, control is more subtle than that. Control is, do you have an idea in your mind about how things should go? And are you communicating from that perspective? If you have that idea in your mind, then you are communicating from that perspective. Trust me. It might be overt or it might be really, really subtle, but we can't escape from what our own perspective is. So it will come out in our energy, in our tone, in our words, our phrasing, what we think to say, what we think to do. What's the alternative to our idea of the way things should go? Well, what a lot of couples try to do to fix the control part is they surrender to, or give over, or compromise to what their partner wants to do. So they're like, well, I don't want to control you, so we'll do what you want. And that's just shifting from one pole of control to the other pole of control in a relationship between two people. The place where we are free from control is when we are not making up what we think it should be. Our partner is not making up what he or she thinks it should be. We are actually, in the spiritual sense, humble to feel our heart and to let the flow of the divine show us through flow navigation, which is one of the skills I teach when I work with individuals or couples who want to improve their relationships. So through flow navigation, where we feel the flow of what the one mind that unites us all is revealing in that moment. And that sounds scary. That sounds like, well, geez, how's the housework going to get done? How are the sheets going to get washed? How's the work going to get done that pays for the bills? And I used to have that question too, because I noticed that my practice with flow navigation was pretty devoted in the relationship area of my life and the self-care area of my life. When it came to work, I was like, that's it. Um, God doesn't care about paying my bills. God doesn't care about deadlines. So I would switch from feeling energetically and feeling that flow navigation to being in my head, no, 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 getting things done. And I basically treated myself like a slave. I mean, I felt it was so taxing to my energy and my physical energy and sense of vitality, and also my emotional well-being, to treat myself that way, that I was like, you know what? why am I excluding the divine or my partnership with the divine from my work? Why don't I give God a try and actually like deploy flow navigation in my work and see whether my deadlines get met and whether my bills get paid? And lo and behold, when I gave it a try, ta-da, those things happened, and I wasn't depleted of energy in the process. I wasn't emotionally out of balance in the process. Instead, I was feeling flow in my work as well. So when we're exploring the transition from seeing how we want things to be and implementing that, which is by default controlling, to discovering what this moment holds from a place of flow navigation and connection with our heart, it can feel scary. It can feel like, oh my God, nothing's going to get done. It's just not going to go right. That feeling is the proof that this perspective is controlling, because that's the feeling of, oh my God, I'm scared to be without control. So we try it in little ways so we don't freak ourselves out, right? We try it a step at a time in a place that it feels safe to let go of control. And so I help couples do that in their relationship, and it creates beautiful, beautiful results. So anyway, the other thing I want to say is that I just started a Facebook group called Divine Love Relationship Advice for Spiritually Awakened Couples. And I would love, if you enjoy having conversations about how to improve relationships from a spiritually informed perspective, then I would love for you to join me in this group. It is a group for couples. So if you're in a relationship and you like this approach to relationship, then let me know either in DM or in the comments, or look the group up. But I'll send you a direct link if you comment group in the comments or send me a DM. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this topic of control and the subtleties. And have a great day.